Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, the tension between US and Kenya has already started escalating. Now, first of all, we were confronted with a review proposal from the US Senator James RISCH. Then, a day after, a small interview was convened, and William Samoei Ruto reacted to that approach by the US. And according to William Samoei Ruto, he praised Beijing.
They have agreed to remove all the tariffs on our tea, on our coffee, on our avocado, and all other agricultural exports. It's partly why I have a bit of a problem with some of our friends, but it is what I must do for Kenya. You know, it's in the best interest of Kenya.
Now, I wanted to note something here. James RISCH, the senator, again went to his X handle and posted a cryptic message. This message he directed to William Samoei Ruto. I want to take you through this message. But again, there's something you need to understand. This message came after Rigathi Gachagua had requested the US not to punish Kenya, but to punish the president. In fact, there was a case over a talk on sanction on the president. So before I read this tweet from the senator, ladies and gentlemen, kindly take this opportunity, like this video, subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed before, and to our existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. Now, this is what the senator posted. It's a warning, by the way. We affirmed the global ban notice against Kenya's president, William Ruto, and the unfolding diplomatic fallout. Operation Hand of God has been triggered with the partners, CIA, NSA, PCHQ, and NCSC. So that is a message that was shared by the senator, ladies and gentlemen. Take note of this. Ruto did not hesitate to respond to the US over the move they were trying to make of trying to deny Kenya the non-NATO major ally status. Remember, this non-NATO ally status was a benefit that Kenyans got during the Biden administration. Now, because Ruto is not a Trump guy, the Trump administration has been trying to undo some of these gains of Kenya, simply because Kenya has aligned itself with China, aligned itself with Russia, aligned itself with other countries that US not want to trade with. And in fact, there's a time before Ruto went to China, he made a pronouncement of BRICS. Now you know BRICS, how it operates, ladies and gentlemen. BRICS wants to deal with dollar. So that is that's the motive behind the BRICS formation. That is why US has been against any country in the BRICS formation. But take a look at this. If one of the non-NATO major allies is Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is also aligned with the BRICS, the big question is, why isn't the US moving faster to remove Saudi Arabia from that formation of a non-NATO ally status, and quickly thinking of removing Kenya, a small country that benefited from that arrangement? Is it because the Trump want to do anything that came under Biden's watch? Because this non-NATO ally status came under Biden's watch. See, there's something here that we also need to look at as Kenyans. Now, let's get back to this tweet from Senator James RISCH and the warning by the proposal by Rigathi Gachagua that US should not punish Kenya but focus on the president. Now let's focus on this cryptic message, the global ban notice. No, it seems the US are very serious about this move, but again, you need to note that this move has not been officially activated. It's just a way of sending a warning to William Ruto that if you continue to align yourself with the BRICS debate, align yourself with China, then most likely we are going to think about ways of, removing you from this kind of plan. Now, let me take you back to a debate in Rwanda. Debate, and that the attendees there were Paul Kagame and William Ruto.
For Africa is deliberately exaggerated. Yes. To benefit those who anyway dictate the way things go. So in our case, we have had great partnerships. And from the beginning, partnerships for development, partnerships in economic activities from the outset. That was like been 15, 20 years ago. We got our partners used to the fact that this is our country, these are our problems, we must address them, we appreciate partners, we appreciate support, we appreciate everything, but we don't appreciate anybody trying to replace us in our own affairs.
Paul Kagame was trying to tell William Ruto that even himself, at one particular time, US thought of him as someone who is very special in Africa. In fact, the major ally, you know, in Rwanda. And then all of a sudden, these people started having some different interests. And their interest in Rwanda all of a sudden had shifted. And Paul Kagame was not the person they used to see initially. So that was the message that was being sent to William Ruto. And when this was coming up, Ruto had not gone to US for this US state visit that was organized by Biden, the one that gave Kenya this kind of status, the major non-NATO ally status. Of course, if you ask me as a Kenyan whether it's going to benefit us or not, because I saw a conversation, someone was asking on the X that anyway, this non-NATO, how is it going to help Kenyans? Of course, it has benefits with its science, all the science, the military equipment, you know, the protection from the US military. No country can easily, you know, invade you because you have protection from the US. Vitu kama hizo. Those benefits will all go away if at all this is actualized. If you look at the case of Saudi Arabia, of course, Saudi Arabia and US, the main interest of US in Saudi Arabia ni oil. Hile mafuta ambao Saudi Arabia inatengeneza, US is interested in it. So there has been that kind of arrangement between US and Saudi Arabia. Kwanza kitambo. I think that's the main reason why, to reciprocate, what US did was to offer Saudi Arabia that kind of protection, the NATO major ally protection. There are many other countries. So US normally uses that as a tool to try to control you, to make you do things according to, you know, according to their interests, you know, according to their interests, not according to, you know, other people's interests like China, like Russia, like Iran, you know. So in view of the Republicans, especially Senator James, is that Ruto has gone against their deal. Now, because the president has gone against their deal, and in fact, the president even came out publicly and again reinforced his position on the support or on the willingness to trade with China. Remember, he went ahead and reinforced that position. I talked about the benefits that Kenya gets from China. So I think that could be the reason why James, again, Senator James, went ahead and talked about a very firm stand that US affirm the global ban notice. The global ban notice, ladies and gentlemen. And this means Kenya will lose out on so many things. I think this is going to be detrimental in the relationship between the two countries going forward. If at all the senator makes true the threat and successfully reviews the relationship between the US and Kenya, and then he petitions that then Kenya loses out on the NATO ally status, then itakuwa ni Kenya ndo wamepoteza, sio rais amepoteza, ni Kenya imepoteza. Someone who takes over as a president will also want to have that brought back. So itakuwa ni kama US inatumia ile kama tool ya control nchi kama ya Kenya hii. I think that's what I see. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.